everyone. Welcome to the Blackhouse. You're on the air today. We got a full studio. Like we literally have a full studio. We got a special guest here, Davian, all the way up from Dunedin, and we got Byron, and we got T back again. Yeah. How's your fella's week's been? Listen to me. How's your fella's week's been?
New Plymouth slang
coming through. You know, hey mums and dads, this is what your kids are gonna sound like. They're gonna sound like me. How's your fella's week's been? So who first? Anyone?
Yeah. How was your weekend?
My weekend just began. It's about to get good. It's about to be great. It's about to be great. Now, this week's been crazy. I've made some big decisions. I'm excited about.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, I'm girls going back to school. Getting my fifth degree.
All right. Are you going to go for the next level? Like, are you doing PhD, master's?
A whole new career.
Oh dang!
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Was this a long time like coming? Did you think about this? You were like,
I've thought about it. Like, I've always been a business major, but I was like, I'm also really hands-on. And someone said to me, millionaires become millionaires because they find a problem and they fix it. But with that being said, I'm also such a caring person. I always want to make a difference. I was like, I could find a problem, solve it, get money, because who doesn't want to get money? And then also help people. So I was.
That sounds good.
Africa's a motherland. So
yeah, what is it with Zimbabweans want to be millionaires? Like, I have a little friend.
Well, I don't
who's telling me he wants to be a millionaire.
That'd be nice.
Yeah, I think having money's good. Like, I don't have a problem with having money. I'm a little bit sort of lazy in accumulating it. I mean, I'm not aggressively capitalistic. And then when I have money, I spend it. I always find some way to spend it. I'm not like somebody who's really good at saving.
Oh, I'm a spender.
Unless I've got a goal.
I like those things.
I feel that. When you have a goal, something in mind, you're like, all right, I'm going on holiday. I need to save up. I need this.
Yeah.
I have intent. I can save.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But when I don't have a goal, that money's in my pocket. Now, it's paying the world. That's what it's doing. What about you, Davian? What have you been up to? Well, you've come up from Dunedin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I'm happy.
Yeah.
And like, as I tell people, sometimes you say you're happy because it's socially acceptable to be like, how are you? I'm good, but I'm really drowning. No, I'm like actually happy. I'm up here. I love Wellington. I mean, I live in Dunedin, so it's like.
Why?
Yeah, I know. I ask myself every day when I'm driving down.
You're a student, what you do, like,
yeah.
why?
That's a really good question. I actually chose Dunedin. Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
But I outgrew it. I was young. I didn't know myself. Anybody from Dunedin, it's a fabulous place. It's very nice. We like it. It's just not for me.
I have a story. It's such a student place. I had so many like frat type filthy stories that I was like, why are you guys like that? Right?
Yeah.
The uni stories?
Crazy stories, man.
Yeah.
I hadn't heard something. In initiating parties, I'm like, listen, I thought hazing was bad. This is just nasty.
Yeah.
The uni parties there are pretty insane.
They are. They're like Project X type insane.
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
Project what?
Project X?
Okay, I'm lost.
I'm gonna need you to watch that movie.
Oh, yeah.
No.
You gotta relate to that. You gotta see it be like, that was my childhood.
Yeah. I would love to go to Project X party. That'd be sick.
Yeah.
Davian, how's your week been?
That's Davian over there.
Oh,
I would love to look like that, but I don't. But thank you.
I've been getting you guys names.
You get into a mask confused.
The names confused.
She literally looked you right in your eye.
Yeah. I was like, well, you can answer if you like.
I don't know, there's something about Byron and Davian, it just sort of meshes together.
Probably the same syllables.
Yeah, something.
Something like that.
But anyway, how was your week? Because I know you've been working hard on this PhD.
Oh, it's been good. We actually had a government symposium, as they call it. Basically just us as our research group explaining to government agencies what we're doing and say, hey, we're addressing racism in all these sectors, get on board, pretty much. So that was good. Got to meet a good few people, got a few contacts and stuff. And then other than that, I've just had to prepare the next 5 to 6 months of my life, reading and writing wise.
How was it presenting it to, these are all government departments, yeah?
Yes. So people can choose, so basically we put it out there and said, hey, this is happening.
Yeah.
This is us, that's what we do, this is our research group. And then they would sign up if they wanted to. We had people from Kāinga Ora come, I met people from, it was like
they better come. Like,
exactly,
like I'm sort of thinking, really there's options in this, whether the ministries get involved or not.
Yeah, well I think part of it was that I imagine higher ups would have known that it was there and know what was going on, and they probably said, hey, if anyone keen, go along. If no one signed up, I assume they would have.
Yeah.
But, you know, part of what was actually...
If no one signed up, it's like, you all have to.
Exactly, yeah. So, I mean, it was good. Like, we had big conversations around Te Tiriti and how it's incorporated into government agencies, the need that they have. So we have different areas. Like I said, I'm in the housing one. We had employment, for
the benefit of Davian and T, can you tell them what the Wero project's about?
Right. So my PhD is it's a separate project within a broader research group, and the research group itself is called Wero, which is it's a Māori term for challenge. So it's like laying down the challenge, and the challenge is to solve racism or the best we can. And you know, part of what we did was throwing it out to agencies, say this is the challenge. Step up. That's kind of the idea. But within that group, so it's that name as well as an acronym, which is working to end racial oppression. So we have different streams: housing, inter-ethnic relationships, housing, and the institutional racism. So for them, and then each of these have research projects.
So you understand my statements about like, well, if nobody from those departments turn up, then somebody needs to go around there.
Oh my god, I could put you on someone who's in housing. My mum's a housing manager. You would have loved
get her mum, get the mum there.
Yeah, she moved to Christchurch though.
Oh, so like, how does that work? Would she come up?
So she's working for Christchurch housing.
Okay, does she come up to do things with them? Because the main office is in Wellington, right?
Yeah, so no, she's transferred to the Christchurch office.
Okay.
Right.
So she was going to Christchurch.
So that's what I've been up to. We had that this week, which was really good. I didn't have to present or anything, which I was so grateful for. I don't know what to say. But then I had to spend the rest of the week trying to figure out, because I don't know if people know, I've got a baby on the way. So we're trying to figure out.
Congratulations.
I think it's about my wife's due in March, so we're just like, all right, we've got to get some writing and little girl. So we're trying to get all my life sorted before that happens.
And so I'm trying to churn as much out of Byron as I can for the baby. So I'm just squeezing him up like a toothpaste. Squeezing it all out. Right, you used up yet? Anyway, okay. So last week we were talking to Miss Gapare, and we were talking about her Kansas years and the effects of mental health and pressure and. So how about we just start from where we left off? And I think that we were going from Kansas to Texas.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah. So, oh man.
Pull that mic closer to you.
Where did we left off? We had left off at the point where I was like really down bad.
And under a lot of pressure from your coaches. Sounds like a very evil human being.
Yeah.
You know, totally like out for his own accolades, or her own accolades, I don't know.
So this was freshman year. My very first year in the US as a college athlete. Had torn my ACL, so I was done with the season. And it kind of I just spiraled, like at one point. I remember at one point I had a teammate who, we went out for a party. Actually got arrested my first year. I got arrested.
Is that weird? Because I found it weird when I got arrested in Tanzania, but it wasn't my fault. It was my brother's.
I was bold. So Colby, Kansas is a very, very small little town in Kansas, like the Midwest, and Hayes was like an hour over. It was like the next college big town with all the clubs in it. So I went over and we're really bored. It was a weekend. I can't remember where everybody else was. They're kind of doing their own thing. And me, two of the basketball boys and a teammate were like, oh, let's go to Hayes, let's go drink up. And my teammate, she was from Kansas, so like she knew people in Hayes. Like she was one of those kids who was just local.
Yeah.
She buggers up and goes down the street to her whatever parties, and she leaves the 3 black kids to just roam in and out of all these white frat houses.
Oh no.
We ended up bumping into people we knew, and they're like, yeah, come to our party. So there we are. And we were like, oh, this is so dry. All we hear is a music cut. Police!
Oh no.
And we're at the back of the house, mind you. We're like, oh no, we're out. So we scooted out the back of the door,
Just
back door, down the alleyway.
Yeah,
down the alleyway. We're like, are we free? Yeah. So we got to the car and we're like, oh, we're still gonna go to the club. we had a bottle of UV, like the cheapest flavoured alcohol liqueur kind of thing you could get. And so we all took swigs, and like, damn, we don't have any cash. You know, the club doesn't have cash, doesn't have an ATM, they don't get cards, so I was like, it's good. I'm good to drive. I'm the more responsible one out of you guys. So gets in the driver's seat, you know. And her car was a little bit older, so like I turned on the lights, and for me it looked like the screen was lit up, but on the outside you have to turn it again so that on the outside. But because Hayes was such a lit up city, like you could not tell that your lights were on.
Okay.
Yeah, so from the inside it looked like they were on, but on the outside I didn't know they were on. They were off.
Yeah.
So I pull out to the main street, and I was behind a cop.
With no lights on.
With no lights on. So, you know, they take a right, I'm taking a right too, they pull over, I'm like, oh, they're waiting for somebody. I pull into the gas station soon after, and all I see is woo, woo, behind me. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
I'm parked, so it ain't me. And she pulls up behind me. I'm like, did you want me to be in my car? Like, yeah, this park is cool.
It was a she.
It was a lady. My lady.
So, are they the same in the States as they tend to be here?
I haven't experienced them here. They're very level shit.
Like double.
Yeah. So, you know, I'm like, you know, trying to find my card and my keys, and then she comes to the window, I'm like, me? Yeah. You know, have I got a flat tire? So I got a flat tire, don't I? Or is my tail out because it's not my car? Like,
right.
And so she was like, are you aware that your headlights were off? And I was like, no, they're on, look. And she was like, they're off. I was like, oh no.
No.
Mind you, I was like, damn, I'm an international student, I'm a passport, I can't get no kind of ticket convictions, nothing.
Yeah, because there'll be all these other
and I'm 19.
regulations.
I'm 19, right. So she was like...
And what's the drinking age in America? Is it 21?
21.
It's not like here, it's 18 here,
18
right?
Yeah. So...
How come I was... this is when you know you know.
So, she then tells me to step out the vehicle after seeing this big, 2-liter bottle of UV.
Oh no!
I'm like, damn. My homeboys were in the back like, shit. And I was like, so I got off and I said to her, look, if you're going to test me, if it's going to be any walking test, just let you know I just blew my ACL, so I have no balance anyway. So that wiped out that walking test.
Yeah.
Now the eyesight test. Now the focus test. And she goes, breathalyze. I said, shit. Damn it. Yeah. But when she breathalyzed me, I was only like 0.008 over the limit. Right. And the limit was 0.3.
Right.
Or 0.03.
Yeah.
So I was like, but so we're going to take you down to the station. Damn, they locked me up. Oh. They put me in the cell, and then somebody came and said, how old are you, Miss Ma'am? I said, I'm 19. They said, we don't hold these ones. Let her out.
Yes.
I said,
yes.
Oh, God is good. I was like, let me out. Oh, please. They said, she's going to be 21 for us to hold her overnight.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
I was like, whew, because my coach said he would never bail me out if I go to jail.
Right.
And so I told my teammates, come scoop the girl, she's free. But then they gave me a big fat ticket, and then I also had to go to court. And so I was like, there's got to be a way out of me going to court. Ain't no way I'm going to court or getting no kind of misdemeanor.
Would that have affected the scholarship if you did?
Yeah, I would have got deported.
Right.
But I did my research.
Come on, research.
Yeah, on a student visa, you can't get any. So I did my research, and I found this thing called diversion. So essentially, because I was under $565, I said, Dad, I need some money. I got arrested the other day, and I did it off my record. And so he sent me $565 US, and I had a 6-month good behavior bond, and I don't have a record in America.
Yes, yes.
So I moved on from that school. Actually, my coach found out that I got arrested because it was in the bloody newspaper.
Oh no!
And they had like a little arrest log in like the corner of page 65.
Yeah.
And so he so happens to read it. And he's like, oh yeah? She was doing it the weekend. I was like, nah. And I was here on camera. He's like, oh yeah, so what's this? I was like, And so after all that anyways, I wanted to leave the school, and I didn't quite know the NJCAA system. I kind of just thought, in my head, I'm going to respectfully find a school and then come to him and say, listen, I appreciate everything that you've done for me, but I want to leave, and this is the school that I'm looking at. Little did I know that with college sports, and they've got their conferences, the regional conferences, most coaches will not allow you to play in the same conference. So here's me looking at every Jayhawk school, because Jayhawk was like conference that I was making noise in. Do you mean?
Yeah.
Everyone knew my name. Like, I was going off at a great start.
Right.
And schools like around were like, yeah, come. But is your coach okay with us? I'm like, oh, I haven't talked to him, but I'm gonna talk to him. The one coach who was gonna sign me snitched.
Oh.
He went to my coach and said, your player's trying to leave.
Oh man, damn.
I was like, that was not your story to
Yeah.
tell.
Yeah.
So my coach, he got mad. When I finally ended up telling him, I was like, I was just trying to lay out my blueprint. And he goes, you disrespecting me.
Oh, right.
You just gonna bend me over backwards and... I still can't say that.
Yeah.
Like, that pause.
Yeah.
Like, you can't say
Yeah.
that. And so he was just throwing all kinds of words and terms at me. He said, you want to play with me? I'm going to show you how big boys play type. I was like, oh.
But did you tell him the reason why you wanted to leave?
Yeah, I
Was it-
said it just wasn't for me anymore.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't like the town. Like, it was.
And you weren't getting the support you need.
When it comes to like rehab, I was getting great support. When it comes to the coaching side of it, he wasn't a horrible coach,
Yeah.
coaching wise, but personality wise, he was atrocious.
Right.
He ended up getting fired anyway.
Right,
He was just messy. I remember in practices, like I had this one teammate that me and her butt heads because I'm good. She was good, but I was better. And as a big girl, you're gonna get the way. The coach was like, put it in your big man's hands. That's where you want to play the ball through.
Yeah.
She didn't want to hear that. And she hated the fact that I'm 6'2", I'm out here putting up threes, and I got the green light to do that.
Yeah.
I'm the LeBron James of the team at this point.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? She didn't like that. He said, if you got some shit you want to do, take that shit outside. That's how we did it back in the day. I'm like, if I beat her up, that's battery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
And
why
then
would
you're
you do
arrested
that?
and
Yeah,
deported,
again. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Like, I'm not doing that. I
Yeah.
get suspended. I'll get kicked out of school. For what? This little girl, no.
Because the hater was jealous.
It's
Right.
so-
And you,
sounds
it's
like
not...
It sounds like your coach was from the X generation.
He was. Like,
That was the answer for everything back
Right.
then. Just take him outside.
yeah, whoop that ass. And I'm like, first of all, and I know you're not going to back me up in front of the person. Then you ask me why we fight. He told me to. Like,
He go back,
that
world
sounds
star.
crazy. Yeah, that sounds crazy as hell. And so that same girl actually ended up like, she robbed me. She ran out my card $900.
Oh.
900 New Zealand US. I said,
Oh damn.
I was like, where's all my money gone? So I ended up finding it was her, but I didn't press charges.
Oh my gosh.
She got what was coming her way anyways. But so when I finally wanted to transfer, I couldn't. And he said, I went to the president. He wasn't trying to release me.
Yeah.
He was going by what he was saying. Mind you, at the same time, my biggest case in the situation was I haven't been a terrible student. I haven't made problems in the team. I haven't made problems in the school. I've been a good school citizen. But you've got the entire, boys team who had the school raided by the feds over credit card fraud, and they were running up cards and everything, but they get full, complete releases to anywhere they want to go.
Right.
Wait, what?
I said, that is a get out of jail free card. I ain't do nothing.
Yeah.
So that happened. They released every single one of those players that was caught up in that case. This case is still open at this point.
Yeah.
And they were scaling up a scam. They would come into like the cafeteria.
So the school was trying to get rid of them because
yeah,
of that?
yeah, but they were trying to hold me back.
You who wanted to leave wasn't allowed to.
Right.
Right.
And they would come into the cafeteria in like Nike tech suits of like different colors, like the Power Rangers. I'm like, we live in this broke ass college town. We don't have jobs.
Yeah.
I know you guys are broke because you eat 2-minute noodles every night. So we all of a sudden get money to have 2 PS3s in your hand. Get out of here, 2 PS4s. So I went home and I tried to fight it, tried to get a lawyer involved, and they said basically in NJCAA handbook, regardless if you're going outside the conference, you still have to have a transfer waiver.
Right.
And he refused to give that to me. He was in his jurisdiction to not give it to me. He doesn't have to.
Yeah.
So he held me out of here. I apologized. I begged that girlfriend. I was apologizing for shit I ain't do.
Yeah.
And so this coach heard that, I'm sitting out a year. He was in Texas, and I said to him, well, I can't go anywhere. I don't have any scholarship. Nobody wants to play, they can't play.
So you're literally you're in America, you're on a scholarship, but you can go to school, but you can't play sports.
No, I couldn't even go to school anyway.
You couldn't even go to school?
Yeah.
Wow.
Because I can't play. So even if I go to a school, I'm just a bench player. I'm a practice player.
Yeah.
And that's a waste of a scholarship to most coaches.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
So you're literally stranded in
I
America.
had to sit. No, I'd gone home because at the end of the year you got to go home.
Yeah.
Right.
You're 3 months, and so I was literally just a free agent with nowhere to go. And again, it was a waste of a scholarship if someone just keeps you. But I had one coach there. It was like, nah, I like you. Even if I have to keep you for 2 years, 2 more years for you to go to the next school, come practice. At least you're still in school. He cared enough to see me still get my education and not be held back.
So this is Texas now?
Yeah. So I'd moved to Odessa College, which is in Texas, Midwest. Actually, it's West Texas, and it was beautiful. People like Odessa, it's like it's border Mexico, New Mexico.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, but it's. I loved it. The people were friendly, I guess because it was just filled with minority anyway. So it was a friendly place. The school was beautiful. I was like, yeah, I like even if I'm not playing, I get my own apartment. I get free laundry. I have a computer room and a movie room. You know what I'm saying? I have a kitchen.
Wow.
You know? I was living in a box for $5,000 a semester. Now I've got a whole apartment with a pool outside. We have pool parties. Like
Nice.
I'm in a sunny place. I don't ever see snow. The school is beautiful. It's ranked 7th in Texas education wise. Great school. They were always there to support. That community loved the athletes. It don't matter where you go. If you're at McDonald's, if you're at Walmart, as long as you have Odessa basketball, they love you. People came to support. Like it was a great atmosphere.
Now, see, I have a question in regards to that because you being, eclectic and unique and cultured as you are and different and diverse in Texas, how was that received? You said people were very friendly, from Zimbabwe, grew up in New Zealand, and you in Texas.
Yeah.
What was that experience like for you on a personal
I
level?
loved it. Texas is a vibe. Like, Texas is a good vibe. I don't know what it is about Texas that's just welcoming and friendly. Depends on where you go, though. I'll say that. Depends on where you go. But it's welcoming,
Texas is
friendly.
It's a big state.
Yeah, it's a big state. But I guess because I was in a minority area, everyone was just kind of clicked. And plus, it was a college town. There were about 4 colleges within, like, the region, the Ector County. So everybody was just either an athlete or a student or you're just doing what you're doing.
Did you travel much throughout Texas?
Yeah, we did a bit of Texas, Houston, San Antonio. San Antonio is beautiful, absolutely beautiful. It's again another minority city, but a lot of where did we go? A lot of college towns, not necessarily big city stuff, but on breaks definitely. Great parties.
Do they have a lot of those marching teams at those colleges?
Yeah, but I saw more of that in the South when I was then living in Alabama. Where you see the old school, like what you see on TV.
But that's the thing, right? Like it's a huge institution in itself, right? People go there to go to those.
The marching bands, formations. You just like, wow, this is crazy. It's cool stuff. So I absolutely loved Odessa. I thrived at Odessa. I definitely connected with the community. Always part of the community. It was nice to be just in a place that you're known by name. Coach B, I love Coach B. Coach B, I have so much respect for this man. 2 things. This man, I knew he was black on the inside. I was like, you black on the inside, you little inside out Oreo, Because this man put hot sauce on his eggs. I was like, that's the most black thing I've ever seen a white man do, And also, he was just very cool, calm, collected. Like he was a chill person. He trusted us as athletes. He respected us. He wasn't an asshole. He always uplifted. As soon as he saw something was off, he paid attention. He was like, come here, what's wrong with you? He was like a dad.
And how was that coming from the Kansas experience? How was that in actually coping with the emotional stuff that you were going through from that pressure from the other guy?
It was so good because I felt like I was in a safe space, and that's big on your mental. Yeah. Especially as an athlete coming out of a volatile situation like that, it was great. His coaching was everything, because he paid attention to your skill set and he utilized it and worked with you to better it.
Right.
He was just an attentive coach. He was a hands-on coach. He had his assistant coaches. Most coaches will tell the assistant coach, go do this or go do that. Yeah. But every single practice, every single individual, he's there. He's working with you, and it was nice because you kind of felt loved and appreciated as a player, not just used. Yeah. So that was great. And for me, one thing about me is the more loving you are as a coach, the more respectful you are as a coach, the more I respect you and the harder I work for you. So when I'm going on the court and you tell me to do my job, I'm about to ace it and more.
Yeah, because there was that sort of thing with a lot of coaches, and I remember this even in netball, like the coaches were mean so that they would make mean players. They'd be hard on you so that you actually played hard. And in boxing and things like that, they push you and push you and push you, but it's not, it's it wasn't in that positive way.
Yeah.
You know, and I think there's a lot to be said about how you treat people and how people respond.
Definitely.
Relationships, right?
Yeah,
It's about
relationship building. Yeah. And Coach Baton, he did an amazing job of doing that, you know, and he never made you feel like when he pulls you to a side or he gives you, you know, a review or an assessment, like he doesn't make you feel down about it or make you feel like you didn't do good enough. Like it was always, you know, you improved here, let's work to do better. He was hard on us. Like when I tell you we were that year that I ended up playing, we were an elite team. You couldn't stop us. We were hustlers. We all had that same mentality that he would work us, but we knew what we were working towards. We've got a game plan. So every practice we would come in, get it done and get out.
Yeah.
When it came game time, like people would look at us like they are a tight unit and I'm scared to get on the court with them. And as you should be, because every game we're coming out busting ass.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what we did.
Was there more international students in your team besides you? Or
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I had two Brazilian teammates. I had a Swedish girl. Absolutely loved her. She was so quiet and sweet, but you don't play with her on the court. She doesn't play like a white girl. And she would bang a three in your face and she was looking like...
Where you at?
Yeah. She didn't say much. We had the Brazilian girls. Letty, she was 200 pounds of just like rock solid muscle. You know, like there's two types of Brazilian girls. No offense. There's like there's the soft booty, and then there's like the swole rock body ones. She was 200 pounds of I can move. She wasn't like one of those big girls who just can't move. Yeah. She could handle the ball, so she got. You know, down the court, and you're gonna move out of her way. And she didn't speak no English, but she loved to party. You know, like we had a really diverse team from everywhere, and everybody was fighting for something. So every time we get on the court, we're fighting for something, and we understood that, and we had that mentality of I take care of you, you take care of me on the court. And we're a family like that, which I absolutely love. Like it's rare to be able to be in teams like that. You know.
Did you find with the diversity in your team, that made it easier for you? Like, you know, you could relate a little bit more to people, you come from different backgrounds, you got different kind of histories, that kind of thing. You know, especially like an not immigration, but you're there on a scholarship, right?
Yeah.
You're kind of coming from overseas. Did that help build the camaraderie between you and other people?
I can't say that we ever looked at each other as different. Or obviously everybody was unique.
Was it more centered around the basketball goal? We had a goal to play this game, and we're going to work together to get that.
Yeah, there was that. I think for us, like, yes, other people would see her as Brazilian. She doesn't speak very good English. Her as Swedish or her as whatever. She's from wherever. But for us, we just all looked the same to each other. And we just all treated each other like there was nothing any like different. We acknowledge our uniqueness, but that's what brought us together kind of thing, which is cool. And we're just one big sisterhood until we got to fight.
Until you got to what?
Until we got to fighting.
Okay.
Is that a normal occurrence or just passion?
So the year that I didn't play, because I ended up coming late since I didn't get my transfer waiver. So because I came late, I just came in straight on the court. This new kid, random chick, like they'd already got connected because some of them had been there for like 2 weeks. They were partying together, made a little bond, and now there's this new chick here. Who the hell are you? And you tall, and you can move, and you can do everything. And they didn't like that. People were kind of mad, like, who is this chick? She can't just come in, and she's going to take my spot. Mind you, at the time, they didn't know that. I couldn't play. So I just came in just cracking heads on the court.
Right.
And I was, again, 6 foot, on the roster 6'3", banging up threes from a long range.
Yeah. And I mean, like, why wouldn't you do that? That's what you're there to do.
Yeah, and I can handle the ball. I got speed and I'm fit. The guards couldn't keep up. That's how fit I was. Mind you, I was fresh off of ACL as well.
Yeah.
I was nice, and they didn't like that, and the energy was cold. But I was so nice. I still keep that Kiwi niceness. You know, like that's just how we are.
I mean, like that's a sort of very Kiwi thing, is that you go on. I mean, you watch rugby players literally banging heads on the rugby field, literally like spurs in and everything, and after the game, it's like, that's the game.
Yeah.
It's when people take it to that next level where it's like personal.
Yeah.
And it was personal.
Yeah. It's so like.
Yeah, they made it personal.
The teammates. Yeah. When you first arrived?
Yeah. I had my gold watch, my gold necklace, and my pearl earrings stolen.
Whoa.
Crazy, right? I had money stolen. I was like, I needed money. You could have just asked. I'm a good person. You know, it wasn't a big thing. So
Were you getting paid at this stage?
No, but I did spend the summer working.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So I was like, you know, it's whatever. I'm not too fussed because, again, being a peripheral person, I'm like, it's going to come back anyway.
Yeah.
And so there was that. I remember one time this chick tried to check me. I was like, I don't know what you're checking me for, but your attitude stinks anyway. At this point, I just didn't care. I was like, your attitude stinks. And she was kind of mad about it. I was like, if you want to do something, do it. You know? She stepped to me. I said, look, I'm going to give you two moments to just rethink that decision. And then she tried to swing on me. And it's really funny because if you see me fight, I look so calm, but my hands are going. And so she swung on me, and my team was like, oh shit. So they quickly grabbed me first. I'm like, grab her.
Yeah.
But my arms being so long, you just see me doing this.
They know what you're capable of.
Yeah.
That's why they grab
I
you.
just imagine the animation of that.
And my friend Cassie, she's like, mind you, this girl who's trying to fight me is like 5'4".
Oh
my friend
God.
Cassie's 5'3". She's trying to get in the middle of it. She just pulled to the side of the head, just like clocked in the middle of it.
Yeah.
So that happened, and coach ended up coming to break it up. And then I remember one game that they lost, a really crucial game for them. They would have put them into regionals, a chance to regionals. They lost, and my coach at the end of a practice said, man, T, you were the one key to this team that we actually needed the most.
Yeah.
Oh, people
Didn't that
In front of them.
No, he's heard like
Okay, I was about to say, if they hated you before.
A couple of girls had heard it, and you know, there's always that one messy ass person who, and so she went and told the team, and I walked into the locker room, and there was just a negative aura just lingering. I was like, what's the vibes? But I just didn't take any note to it. And then,
how can you not though? Like, I've been in those spaces where you've been in the team and you're like, you know, when I played reps, it was a very bitchy 1978 team that I was in. And basically, like, I really felt apart from them. But on the court, I played as best, you know, the best I could, but I really couldn't. Because just being iced out, there was a clique that had been selected year after year after year, and I was the odd new one. So, yeah, I don't know. How did you ignore it?
For me, it was like, I learned it in netball, you know, because when you're an asset, you can be mad at me all you want, but you need me. In the most humble way, you need me. You know what I'm saying? You need me. So I would be smart if I were you.
Yeah.
You know, and I think for me, I've been a little bit lucky that my talent has always been needed.
Right.
And I was just like, I just really didn't take too much notice of it. It's nothing to me. You know, again, you can be mad at me, but you need me.
Yeah.
You know, I'm an asset.
Yeah.
So I just ignored it, and I remember one girl just like mouthing off, calling me a bitch, all kinds of things down the hallway. She knew I could hear her, but I was like, okay, but you need me.
Yeah.
You know? So that same girl, she walked past me, and she just smiled at me. I looked at her like,
oh my God. Girls are so...
And I just ignored her.
Yeah.
She thought I was going to retaliate. She thought I was going to speak about
her yelling up the wall.
Or what she was saying. I was like, I don't care. You need me. So I remember my teammate, the Brazilian one, Miss Lady, she didn't even talk English. This girl was so damn messy, but she didn't talk English. So she was my roommate. So I remember this girl came banging on my door, and she wanted to fight me at this point. It aggravated her that I didn't react to her.
Yeah.
So now I'm in the shower getting ready for the game. Again, I still can't play at this point. She's banging on the door.
Oh my God.
I was like, I'm just doing my thing. Like, I'm not bothered. So my messy ass roommate lets her in. And at the time I had a dog. I was dating this guy that got me a dog, but we'll come to that another time. He got me a dog. And so I came out, you know, the shower. Mind you, I had a frontal, like I had lace front, and in the shower I peeled it back, so I looked crazy like a crackhead. And she had like flipped like my entire living room upside down, like in a rage. Damn. I'm just like... And then when I finally came out of the room, changed into clothes, now she wants to sit down and talk.
After flipping your room upside down.
Got all that out of your
You know what I'm
phone?
saying?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you
You're
didn't
so
make all this.
patient.
I was like,
You're
you
so
didn't
patient.
make all this noise, but all these people in here holding their phones like this for you to sit down and have a heart to heart. So let's get it. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's up? Like, I'm with it because you didn't come in here to talk.
Right.
So do what you're gonna do, and I'm gonna show you that people that you're a punk because you just make noise, and you're mad at the fact that I do what you are supposed to do better at my size.
Right.
And so she gets to swing it, but I really just pinned her down because I was like, what's the point of this? Plus, you have to go play after this. I don't.
Yeah.
I can take a concussion right now. You can't. Again, you still need it on the team.
So and then along comes Miss Brazil.
Oh no, Miss Brazil. Miss Brazil.
She's eating popcorn.
She's sitting in the corner watching this whole show.
Oh.
I've got my teammates talking about, yeah, get her Dom, because her name was Dom. They're like, yeah, get her Dom, get her Dom. And then she knife on me.
Whoa, okay.
Oh my
All right.
gosh.
It was a kitchen knife, like a small little kiwi fruit knife, but she pulled
She
the knife
came
on me.
prepared,
Yeah.
apparently.
Yeah.
It was on the counter.
Oh, right.
That's
Yeah, in my kitchen. And I'm like, at this point, I'm like, I've got health insurance, I've got sports insurance, I got police insurance, so do what you gotta do. All I'll get is a couple of stitches, maybe.
Yeah.
So do what you gotta do. And the teammates looked at me like, are you mad? Like, they were like, oh, she's not playing. These Kiwi girls are different.
Yeah.
But at that point, I was fed up because I'm like, do what you got. You're not gonna do anything.
And you didn't have to play at that time.
I couldn't.
Right.
I was being held out. So I'm like, this is just bullying. But okay, what's up?
How are you that calm and considerate? Because I'm not gonna curse again like I did last time, but she got you messed up, right?
She does.
She's approaching you, and you understand that she's the one who has something to lose because she's the one who's gonna get messed up, and she's supposed to play. Yeah, you still don't mess her up when you had an opportunity to.
I think it just shows people's characters and maturity. And it did. Like, she ended up hitting me in the head with a pan.
You frying eggs and making smoothies. What you want?
So after that, she tried to come for me again by the neck. Coach is gonna know that it was a fight.
Yeah.
So I called him. I said, Coach, this
And
is
he'll
a
know it's a
situation.
fight amongst the girls because he's probably aware that
Somebody
there's some
videoed it.
tension. Right.
Yeah.
Okay. And somebody's videoed it
Yeah.
as well.
So
That always helps.
right, exactly. So I said, Coach, this is a situation. I'm not about to be here in an environment like this if this is what I gotta deal with. I'm not doing it. And so, anyways, fast forward, he's like, okay, cool, sort it out between the two of you. I'm not going to suspend either one of you. Or it's either you guys sort it out and you guys are teammates again and friends again, or both of you don't get on this bus.
Right.
Both of you don't go. And I'm like, I'm going because this is a holiday to me.
Yeah.
I get to go, even if I'm sitting on the bench, I still get to have the athlete experience. So you're not stopping that for me.
Yeah.
Don't take away the little athlete experience that I have. So, yeah, we sorted it out. Me and her ended up being the best of friends. She still did some funky things that after a while I was like, I don't like you.
Yeah.
You're into corner.
Yeah.
I don't like you.
Yeah.
I'll tolerate you, but that's as far as it
Frenemies.
goes. Yeah. So the next year we came back and, the sophomores were gone. New batch of people come in. I could play this year.
Yes.
Big T's playing.
Yeah.
And it was amazing. Like, it felt good to be on the court competing. Every game I'm going hard. There were games where I knew I was in elite shape. People could, again, I'm still top of the rank. I'm doing what I got to do. I'm also stepping up into that leadership role and leading by example. It was cool. Like, I was having triple doubles. I mean, there's some photos of me where I'm against 2 6'4" girls and I'm still getting the rebound, you know?
Yeah.
It was feel good, and it was everything that I worked for was paying off. And it was amazing to my mentor.
Right.
Until I got into this horrible relationship.
Oh, a man?
With the dog.
Yeah, is that
Yeah. So I met this guy. He played for like one of the schools in the region. In the region, it was like 30 minutes away, and he came to a party. It was hosting a little kickback at mine at the apartments, and then his friends were friends with my friends, and so we kind of just got clicking. And he was like the clown of them all. I'm like, I love a goofy guy. Like, he's, a little chubby, a little dreadhead. I'm like, how your big ass get up and down the court? Bye. And, he was cool. And then all my friends are like, okay, we're slowly going to sleep. We're slowly going to sleep. We're slowly going to sleep. People are leaving, whatever. And then his friend was like, how are you getting back? And he's like, I'm gonna sort it out. So indirectly we're speaking like mind games, and so anyways, we end up becoming a thing. And I didn't know, like I didn't know that he was also dealing with other people. I just heard stories here and there. But he was really sweet. Like at first, like I thought he was a dickhead, and then like over time I was like, oh yeah, you're cool. Relationship ended up being like, now he's like staying with me at Odessa. Mind you, he was at school 30 minutes away. He would get up, go to school, come back. And I'm thinking, oh, he's so great. Like, you know, he'd buy me groceries. I was like, yes, I love that. And then it kind of got a little bit dark, you know, like he started to get a bit more aggressive.
Like aggressive possessive or like physically?
Physically. I remember one time he just slapped me over the head so hard.
What?
And he thought I was talking to one of the basketball boys, which, I was. He was in my group project, but he didn't deal with him because he had his own girlfriend. And like that's where I was like, oh, what the... I was just so lost for words at that point. Like, the only person who was smacking me over was my dad.
Yeah.
But that, and I just, again, to this day, it still takes me out, you know?
Yeah.
And it got really bad. He got really emotionally abusive, and I didn't really say much to people. I just didn't know how to. And then I would find out that he'd be hanging out with my friends behind my back and like...
Oh, damn.
And stuff like that, and I was hearing rumours that he was dealing with someone else, but I just wasn't sure because he was always with me 25/8, was always on campus.
Right.
And then he started moving stuff in slowly TV, and I remember one time he put a gun in the drawer.
Yeah.
And so I was like, me being stupid, like, oh, he's just a hood nigga.
It's America.
Like, just, you know, just America, it's whatever. Like, he's from Chicago, straight brag, what. I just kind of like disregarded it. Like, he will never use it on me.
Yeah.
And I remember one morning, just like, he was just mad. Like, and I was like, you know, I'm just gonna roll over and not pay attention to this. And I remember he just clocked me with the gun, and I woke up with a gun to my head, and I was like, what the fuck? Like, and at that point, like, he just broken me so much that, like, I was just like, if you pull the trigger, it's really don't make a difference.
Oh, jeez.
No, that's,
Damn. And
domestic violence is... Don't carry on.
How long were you guys, were the two of you together at this stage?
Probably like a year and some change. Yeah.
And how long had the you know, emotionally and physical abuse been?
A couple of months.
Right.
A couple of months. And sometimes I felt bullied, and I didn't like the fact that he would hang out with my friends behind my back, because my friends had never told me. They're my teammates. They never told me these things. I was like, how am I finding this out from like a fourth party?
Yeah.
And so that happened, and my coach started to notice how much I deteriorated. Like, my energy, like, I'm a bubbly, like, just goofy person. He wasn't seeing that out of me.
Yeah, because you're carrying a lot of weight.
Yeah.
I mean, being somebody that's lived through domestic violence for a majority of my adulthood, it saps you. It saps you of energy. It saps you of being able to take care of yourself.
Yeah.
You know, it's like you're living for somebody else's expectations, and you don't know what they are.
Yeah.
They could be anything. You know.
And
So you're on edge. You're constantly on edge. You're hyper vigilant.
Yeah. Which breeds anxiety as well.
Yeah, and he would lash out. Like, I remember one week he really lashed out, and I had bruises like all up and down my body.
Yeah.
And I remember the coach, like, it was like a midweek training where, like, okay, now we're getting into physical work. Threw the ball so hard at me, and like I miscaught it, and it hit me in my abdomen, and like I just stood there and just started crying.
Right.
And he was like, T, what the hell?
Yeah.
I was like, sorry, I feel like I jarred my finger, it just hurt so bad. And then he said to me, come here after training. And he's like, what's wrong with you? And he's like, have you got your abdomen checked out? Like, you seem like you're in so much pain. And then Jeff, who was our sports coordinator, he was like, T, come here. And he's like, lift up your shirt. And you just would see like bruises. And I'm not dark, but I'm light enough for you to see bruises.
Yeah.
And he saw
especially around here, because you're injuring.
And it was my breast and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And he just saw the tears and the pain.
Yeah.
Just flow through
You're
me.
very lucky to have had a coach that was that aware. You know.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the things I've noticed over the last, say, 10 years, and the awareness of of mental health and domestic violence and sexual abuse and all of that is that there was a generation where that was just the dirty secrets of the family.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it wasn't something that people talked about openly.
Yeah.
But to be in an environment where somebody could actually see that there was something wrong and wanted to act on it, that's a huge sort of like
Saving
positive
grace,
thing,
right?
saving grace, to your coach.
Yeah.
You know, just being aware, because I would imagine that, you know, a generation before that there may have been other girls in similar situations, and it was just keep going.
Yeah.
You don't get a chance. You don't get a chance to like feel sorry for yourself. We've got a game to win or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
And I know that for myself growing up, that was pretty much the attitude. So you better become self-sufficient.
Yeah.
You better become self-resilient if you're going to stay alive. You know what I mean? Yeah.
And I just want to commend you as well, because as you said, there's so many people who won't talk about it. They're not willing to be vulnerable and talk about it. And they see someone who's strong and powerful, and it's like, wow, she's gone through it, you know. And there's still people.
And look at your age. I mean,
Yeah.
I've only started talking about because I'm diagnosed with complex PTSD, and I've only started talking about that since I turned 50. Because all of those other years growing up, it was like something that you just had to hide from everybody. And because you're hiding it, you're also being misdiagnosed. So, you know.
So he's like, you have to tell coach. I was like, no, I can't. What am I supposed to tell him? He doesn't want no involvement in our personal lives. It's you know, he loves us, but he just doesn't try to get involved in relationships. He's like, you need to tell him, because you're in no state to play. You know, you're in so much pain right now. Like, you clearly.
Yeah.
And so he said, I'll go with you. And I must have the energy. And I told him what was going on. And mind you, after that happened, I started to hear and see all the things that he was doing. So this guy that I was dealing with, who was beating on me, the car he was using wasn't even his. It was another girl that he deals with.
He was probably beating her too.
I never really asked. And then, you know, he was also sleeping with the boys' basketball trainer, so like a kind of physio. Sleeping with her downstairs every time he'd come to see me. He then had a girlfriend in Chicago who was pregnant with his second child.
Oh my God.
So there was now all these things are starting to come out.
There's a network.
And then my coach.
That wasn't a relationship. That was a network.
Yeah. So my coach, you know, found out about what happening. He said, you need to press charges. I said, I want to press charges. That's too much for me as an international student. And that'll be an ongoing case, not for years.
Yeah.
And so he said, do you want to get out? I said, I just want to get out. I just don't want him to see him ever again. So he said to me, text me when he comes over. So he came over, coach pulled up. I'm telling you, this man is black on the inside. He came, he had my room key. He walked in on him and he said, get out. He looked at me like, who do you think you are? He said, get out, don't ever come near her, because if you do, I will take you to court personally myself.
Yeah.
You will be in jail.
Yeah.
You don't have a case now, I will give you multiple.
Yeah.
You know? And so
sometimes all it takes is a threat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Because I mean, these people that do this sort of thing, they're bullies. And when they find and they pick on people that they can have control over, or they can manipulate in some way. And when somebody comes along that's bigger and stronger and louder than them, they normally cower and run away with their tails between their legs. I've had to deal with many where I've had to go, I don't need them arrested. I just need somebody to say something to them. In uniform, preferably.
Yeah, so he threatened to tell the school that he's at, because he was also on the basketball team on a scholarship. He's like, I will make sure that the coaches in the NCAA know who you are, what type of person you are. It will be the end of your career, whatever career you're attempting to create for yourself.
Right.
And after that, he never came back into Odessa again. Even though he was only 30 minutes away, a majority of everyone in his team would come to Odessa, he never stepped foot in Odessa again.
That was a relief.
So he was my saving grace out of that. But at the end of that school year, my coach said to me, you need to take a year off.
Right.
Not because I'm going to release you, you're going to NCAA now. Not because I'm going to not release you, but also because you've gone through a lot of trauma in the last 3 years.
Yeah.
You need to take time to yourself, because I can see a breakdown coming. He said to me, I'm the most dysfunctional, functioning person he's ever seen in his life.
Yeah. High functioning.
high functioning, but I'm also very, what's the word?
Resilient? Well, I can tell you're resilient.
Self-destructive.
Right.
Yeah.
In the sense of...
I'm very self-destructive in a way where like I'm going through things, I don't want to say I act out, but I get buck wild.
Right.
Yeah,
So like once the season ended, I was hosting parties every Thursday. There was points actually he knew I was a party person, so he would ask me like in postseason, like, you on campus?
So you basically introduced binge drinking to America.
Pretty much, you know. I was
the way that all New Zealanders...
I was gonna redefine, drinking. So, he would ask me on like a Friday or Thursday after the game, he knew I'm straight to the club.
Yeah.
Or Saturdays, like, you on campus? No? See you on Monday.
Yeah.
Even
And they call that buck wild over there, and we call that a regular weekend.
Right.
That's literally Monday here.
Like, he was like, I ain't never seen a student who parties the way you do. And I didn't just party with the same people. I'd be in every circle. I'd be with the golf boys.
Okay.
I'd be with the softball girls, the baseball boys. I'd be with the rodeo team, playing poker in their little nasty huts. Like, I was everywhere. The dance team, you would see me at other schools. Social butterfly.
Yeah.
Okay. You then, at some point, you went to Mackay
Yeah.
in Australia.
Yeah.
So I'm imagining that they would be on par with the drinking ability. No?
Oh, really?
This is
I'm
Australia.
shocked.
Yeah, it's Australians.
My
This
team
is-
was
like
my team were boring or babies who
right.
wanted like doof 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 kind of clubs, just thumping clubs, and I'm like, oh, I'm past all that. I've done it, I did it through, Texas. I did it through Alabama. Alabama. I think Alabama was the end of my drinking days, my binge drinking days. That school. They're just functioning alcoholics.
Yeah.
I remember homecoming week, the teacher offering me tequila shots on a Monday. I'm like,
Sounds like my granddad.
that teacher, she's like, it's homecoming, so we're not doing class. Who's 21? Everyone's, all right, shots for everyone. I'm like, it's Monday and class. Tuesday, I'm hanging out my ass, and they were like, damn, they got you already? Yeah. You have a whole week to go. I'm like, what? It was, so, after Texas, I took a year off.
Right.
And that's when it hit. Suicide. So I went to Hoop Nations. I don't know if you guys have heard of Hoop Nations. It's paid, basketball tournament, cash prize. It was very stressful, but I was still like carrying the weight of everything that happened.
Yeah.
After I left
You
that,
put it all on hold from the sounds of things. It's like you kept your commitments, whatever they were, to the teams, but everything that was traumatic or emotional, you just put on hold, and eventually it's going to surface.
Yeah. So I remember after that tournament, it was just like the cherry on the cake. It was just too stressful for me. I came home, and it was a Monday or Tuesday or something that I went to work, and I had overdosed.
On?
I was given like low dosage antidepressants for migraines. Like they were 10 milligrams instead of the usual 100. So I had overdosed on those. My mum told me not to take them because she figured out they were antidepressants, so like never touched them ever. But then I was at that point.
That's African parents. Don't touch antidepressants.
Yeah, don't touch them. So I didn't, and I was like, fair enough. I just used the amounts. But at that point, I was like, I just want my life to end. And I was working at Pack and Save. Popped every single pill.
That's where I first met you, right? Pack and Save.
Yeah. Popped every single pill that I could. Went to work, and I was like, it was fine. Until I'm standing at the checkout, my eyesight's going, my attention span is going, my balance is going, and I'm about to throw up everywhere.
Yeah.
Went home, laid down, and Mum came home at 5 p.m. It was God sent that she came home because she wasn't going to.
Yeah.
I'm on the couch, unresponsive. I can hear everything that's going on around me, but at this point, my body's shutting down.
Yeah.
Ambulance came, and I thought someone was choking me. I was like, why are these people choking me instead of trying to save me? Is this how it works? And it was actually my tongue. I was choking on my tongue at this point because my body was in the last phase of shutting down.
Yeah.
And it took them about an hour to just stabilize. Stabilize me.
Wow.
I think for about 3 days, because I'd taken about 90 pills. And my body was so high off of all of that that it was still coming down. It took about 3 days. And when I saw the psych team, they're like, why'd you do it? And I was just tired. But I didn't want to talk about what I'd gone through.
And trauma, people who are victims of trauma are very high suicide rates. whether it's emotional trauma, physical trauma, or whatever. That's why you see a lot of vets, Vietnam vets, and that have, you know, more people are dying of suicide in America after the wars than in the wars.
Yeah. So I stuck to I was tired, and they just let me go.
1 minute.
They just let me go, and at that point, internally, I was feeling unloved, unwanted. I was feeling useless, pathetic. I was feeling silly. I was disappointed in myself, and it was hard to work through that. And that came from sport. That came from being in an unsupporting sporting environment that wasn't building me. Even though there were those few characters, I was lucky that Coach B said take a year off. So imagine if I tried to take my life in America, that would have been me done. Let's be honest.
I want to thank you for coming in. We're coming up to our getting bleeped at. I'd love you to come back next time when you're back in New Zealand. And that's us from the Blackhouse. Sorry to cut you off like that.
No, it's okay. Thank you for having me.
Here comes our music.
Oh,
Come back to the Blackhouse next week.